Okay, so I want to talk about this, right? Because I'm hearing two different things, seeing legal experts on both sides weigh in on the prosecution side and on the defense side. Shout out to Surviving the Survivor podcast. Surviving the Survivor podcast. I say it a little fast sometimes. But I also watched the YouTube video, and Tim Jansen is a former prosecutor and I think now defense attorney or retired defense attorney, but he is also weighing in on the Wendi Adelson uh, potential of her being arrested. So if you recall, I'm not going to go into a very deep dive on this particular video, but Wendi Adelson is the sister of Charlie Adelson, who was just convicted of first degree murder, solicitation, and conspiracy to commit first degree murder. It's believed that Wendi Adelson, her mother Donna, who was just recently arrested on the same three charges, are all co-conspirators in the murder for hire plot against Wendi's ex-husband and father for two children, Dan Markel. Going to be facing charges. It doesn't matter that she had derivative immunity because Georgia, the prosecutor in this trial, who will likely be prosecuting Wendi if she does face any charges outside of the perjury charges that she could potentially face for lying on the stand. Georgia may be sitting on evidence, or there may be evidence that comes out during Donna's trial that would help solidify what happens to Wendi. There are some people who are like, listen, if Georgia had the evidence already, she would have arrested Wendi first and not given her all of this derivative immunity to be used over the course of three trials, which she's used. Now, the evidence was found out because of what Wendi testified to. So some of that stuff they can't really use. So they have to find new things. So maybe Donna's trial will do it. Really interested to see if during Charlie's sentencing, which is supposed to happen on December 12th, if he ends up flipping for a reduced sentence in order to testify against his mother and finally come clean about everything. Because if it were my neck on the line, sorry, sis, you're going down. There's also something that came out yesterday. I was reading the Court TV article, and it said Charlie Adelson spent 35 hours on the phone with mom the week of her arrest. So the day after Charlie Adelson was found guilty, he spends like several hours on the phone with his mom, which I don't know how that's possible because they're in jail, but I don't know. It's 2 hours, so maybe like in 2 hour blocks or something like that. But those calls cannot be FOIA'd at the moment because they're part of an active investigation. Likely be made public once the discovery piece of the trial for Donna Adelson happens. So we'll finally be able to see what exactly Donna was saying, or whoever was using Donna's phone that she was not happy to give up when she was arrested. Anywho, back to Wendi. So what do you think? Do you think that if Georgia already had the evidence, she would be charging Wendi with the same three counts as her mother and her brother? Or do you think she doesn't have quite enough and is waiting for Donna's trial to finish up and then she'll charge Wendi? Oh, and another quick thing. You guys are being super weird if you're calling Wendi hot. Like, I know you're just being weird and gross, but like, get a life.